days of Halloween.
Imaginary friends are fictional creatures or beings that young children can conjure. In the beginning, these things are friendly and benevolent. They usually take the responsibility of being best friends with the child until he or she grows up and understands the real world. At that point, they just disappear. Sometimes, though, they can return. They can manifest during times of stress and panic and don't always retain their original personalities. They can also be hostile, jealous, and even hateful toward the adult and his or her family. An imaginary friend will insult and threaten the adult's loved ones. However, since imaginary friends are simply imaginary, they can't harm anyone physically, unless they break through. Those who do can affect our reality in ways that defy the laws of nature, moving objects and throwing them at people, marking limbs with visible bruises and sores. Imaginary friends can also cause static distortion in electronic devices, just to torment and traumatize adults who created them and forgot about them, to drive them mad, to the brink of suicide and psychosis, as revenge. You see, you might have forgotten about me, but I'll never forget about you. Over and over, again and again. It doesn't matter how I die, how much of my body is destroyed. I always come back. You can shoot me, you can slash my throat. Hell, take your bare hands and rip me apart, and I'll still wake up. All of my blood will be gone by morning's early light. Everything will be clean. I don't know how this happens or why. It doesn't matter. When it's time, I'll close my eyes. I'll fall into the dark. I'll wait for the cold, that hungering eternity to swallow my soul. That would be a mercy, a relief. But it won't be the cold that will wash over me. It will be the heat. Heat that will mend my bleeding body. My bleeding, broken body. Heat that will pull me back again and again. Over my bed, into my bed, and then I'll wake up. Being normal is oppressive. If you think that a person should act a certain way or think a certain way, you are refusing those who don't agree with your ideology and violating their basic human rights. So many people believe that the human mind is supposed to be together, dictated by things like logic and predictable behavior. Everyone must conform to a singular reality. No one can be different. But everyone has a right to themselves. To think anything otherwise doesn't make any sense. My name is Sam, and I used to be normal. But I learned long ago that sane and normal do not mean anything in the natural order. They're just labels, and I'm neither. and the establishment hates me for being different. I have a lot of friends and enemies and acquaintances with their own little quirks. We're all kept in the same prison. You can call it a hospital all you want, but we know the truth. The doctors will never let us go. They make us wear straitjackets. They lock us inside foam-walled cells. And worse, they force us to follow their rules. Active Alicia, a neighbor of mine, she underwent electroshock therapy after killing a couple of rats and assembling their entrails into a makeshift rope. I heard her screams. Her eyes are white now, and she won't talk anymore. We used to talk to each other when the doctors welcomed the dark. She was going to escape. Despite our recently strained relationship, not a night goes by when I don't think about the torture she had to endure and its destruction of her individuality, all of which were meant to reinforce their own mindset. I've been the victim of public shaming, suffered from the weight of societal pressure. Both are the consequences of denial, the inherited defense mechanism nearly everyone allows to pass on. It shouldn't be this way. We can change. Humanity needs to, for all of us. Schizophrenia, the ability to see what the blind cannot. Dissociative identity disorder, possession by the things beyond. Sociopathy, acceptance of the natural order. Mentally ill is just a label that they use to discredit us. When someone displays traits associated with an imbalanced mind, people will smother their mouths. Their words are drowned under fear, and fear can drive the blind to violent means of maintaining their control, like with Active Alicia. Fresh Freddy was cooked inside a giant oven on Saturday. Smart Smith was given a lobotomy on Tuesday. Kissy Cat had her ovaries removed and her mouth sewn shut on Friday. And Giant Greg was injected with acid on Monday. And there's so many more. So many who have been silenced, drawn, quartered, tortured to death. Innocent lives ended, or worse. They could take you down to the basement. Dr. Talley came last night. He closed the door and leaned over my bed. I could taste his fear, even through his mask. "Look," he told me, "this isn't personal." I could imagine his eyes. They were likely filled with awful carnivorous doubt, as well as knowledge and memories. The thing behind my own started to tingle. It was getting hungry again. "But this has to end." He said this, twirling his pencil between two fingers, breathing heavily. I couldn't wait. My hands flew from beneath the blanket to his face. He screamed as my nails. A blurred point. I met lead. Scream from mouth. I met lead. Lead went deeper and deeper and deeper. Darkness. Then, amidst screams, the sound of clicking. A tape recorder starting. My screams fading. His voice fading. But words. Subject: Samuel Adams. Operation successful. Method: enucleation.